Jason Levine with the Dice Tower for another Gen Con preview. I'm here at Restoration Games with Rob Devieux, and you have a lot. You have some games that are just coming out, plus you made a big announcement on our show.
We did.
So what do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about the announcement, or you want to talk about the games that are out now?
We'll talk about the games that are out now. Restoration Games, we had that Fireball Island Kickstarter in the spring for everyone.
Yes.
We are on schedule to deliver in November. So far, we feel very confident we're going to be there in November. That's being demoed here.
I saw that.
Yeah, it came out great.
Yeah, and the box is the box looks huge, and then when you pick it up, you're like, oh.
It's delightfully light.
It's delightfully light.
We are not responsible for your back problems.
Exactly.
Well, you know, my partner in the company is a lawyer, so we want to. So we have Fireball Island, so that's done. It's not out yet. We're demoing it here. What we're featuring here are two new things. One is we have a game, Downforce, came out last year, did well.
Of course.
So we have an expansion track with 6 new powers, and it's not just a different shape track. It sort of has different rules to it.
Yeah.
So it's like a quarter step up in complexity. One has these loops, which don't really build a track like that. It's kind of a bad idea. It's got these loops, and it's got these splits, and another one has sort of rough terrain, for lack of a better term. So you're driving on the road, and you can kind of try to go around someone by going in these little places with boulders, but you can't stay there. So it just gives a different puzzle to solve. That's $20. And then we have another game. It's being demoed right behind me here called Dinosaur Tea Party. It is a civilized game that you play a dinosaur at a tea party. I like to think of it as a multiplayer Guess Who. So you're a dinosaur, you're at a tea party. You're dressed up in your finery. You got hats, you've got pets. Maybe you're into tea and I'm into sandwiches or something like that. And you've got a little secret identity, but all the dinosaurs are on the table. Now, you've forgotten everyone's name, which is horribly embarrassing. So you have to ask sort of probing questions like, are you wearing a hat? Because apparently you have bad eyesight as well.
Of course.
And if you say, oh yeah, I am wearing a hat, you put a little token saying you're wearing a hat, and then I can ask another question. But as soon as I say, do you have a pet? And you say no, that's a little rude. And so my turn is over. And you're just trying to guess who it is. It's a 7 and up. It's a kid's game. It's a light game. I am delightfully surprised at the number of people who are coming up here and wanting to buy it, mostly because the art's amazing and you're a dinosaur drinking tea. People have said they've been playing it after the show at night. Probably not while drinking tea, but they've been enjoying it. There's a little twist in that 3 of the dinosaurs have quirks. One always lies. He says the opposite. He or she says the opposite. One of them just says no to everything. I guess they're having a bad day. And the other one just alternates between yes and no to try to be, accommodating.
As soon as you said that, now I know what game it is. I can't think of the original game.
The original game is called Who's It?
Yes, Who's It?
It's a Parker Brothers game from 1976 where they weren't dinosaurs, they were people, which led to all sorts of race issues that have not aged well whatsoever. So we knew we had to take it away from being people. There's nothing wrong with asking a dinosaur if they have stripes. We think.
Only dinosaurs who don't like stripes.
Yeah, so this Dinosaur Tea Party is also $20. It also comes with 2 recipes. It comes with a shortbread cookie recipe and a finger sandwich cucumber sandwich recipe, so you can really have a perfectly fine sort of dinosaur tea party whilst you're playing.
So someone like me who likes to eat, this is perfect, because then I could...
Yeah, do you like to cook, though?
No, but I can learn.
The recipe isn't going to help you quite as much unless someone else is there who knows how to use them.
No, this sounds excellent.
Okay.
This sounds really excellent.
Thank you. May I give this to you for a second? Thank you very much.
And now the news that you talked about on our show.
How did you get that? Just kidding.
Return to Dark Tower.
This is Return to Dark Tower. This was our number 1 requested game. It took us a little while to put the pieces together. Dark Tower, 1981 game, height of the D&D craze, had an electronic tower in the middle that basically DM'd the game.
Yes.
I played it when I was a kid, blew my mind, a lot of nostalgia for this one at a personal level. We're bringing it back, right?
I know.
But it's 2020, not 1981, so quite a few things had to change. I mean, that was a multiplayer solitaire game. A lot of times you looked at the back of the tower. If you played it as a kid and haven't played it recently, just hold on to the memories. I'm the one who went back and replayed it. Some things haven't aged quite well, but that's our job. We're going to restore it and make it fresh.
Of course. I mean, that tower is just begging to turn into an app like the way we use things in the 20th century.
But you still need a tower in the middle, and it can't just be an app holder. So we've had some design things going around. We've been working on it very back burner for about a year. And when I say we, there's a co-designer that we snagged.
Look at this.
Isaac Childress from Gloomhaven agreed to come on.
So tell me about this. How did this partnership come about? You just went to Isaac and said, let's work. And obviously Gloomhaven is #1 game. So how did you guys come about this partnership?
Gloomhaven had just come out. Justin and I had played it. We liked it. He said, we were just starting this. He said, should this be a co-design with Isaac? This guy can make big projects. Clearly likes adventure games and, has that same sense of role-playing. And so we just reached out to him, and he's like, yeah, sure. I mean, he wanted a contract and a royalty and all these sorts of things. Designers, man.
It wasn't just, yeah, sure. It was,
sure, and then let's talk terms. And so we've been going back and forth. He's been doing more Gloomhaven stuff. We were working on Fireball Island, so we spent about a year kind of figuring out the problems and how we wanted to start to solve them, and we started to solve them. Now we announced it's not a game that's going to be out until 2020. There'll be a Kickstarter next year. We had to tell it to the public a little bit early because it was kind of leaking.
Yeah.
Turns out that trademarks are public records. We had trademarked it, and so it was getting out. So we decided to talk about it a little bit early, which is fun because we get to sort of give updates and design and do it not fully in public, but with people watching. So there's a little bit of theater.
No, that's kind of cool. So, like, the more you guys watch us as Dicer, we'll probably have more news. We'll probably say, and now look what's being added and look what's being done. You'll be hearing all the news along the way for this one, I have a feeling. Yeah,
we want to do regular updates. I mean, it's not fun to, like, really be in the kitchen seeing how the sausage is made, but every once in a while we'll give little snapshots, show where we are. I mean, the first thing we said is it's a co-op game.
Oh, so you changed it.
It is a co-op game.
Oh.
Yeah, most people are on board. A couple people already are like, but that's not how the original is. And it's true. But the original was really a solo player game where you just waited your turn. And we wanted to basically make the tower, I don't want to call it the main bad guy, but such a threat that everyone has to cooperate if you have a chance.
Very interesting.
And you think in the original game, it just sort of sits there and waits for you to attack it?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not the case now. It's going to have a bit more to say along the way.
Ooh. So, just like every other Restoration game, this one's going to improve and be a better game than the original.
Well, that's our hope. Our goal is to make it a current game, right? Obviously, a lot of the games that came out back in their time, many of them were quite good for their time, but like anything like fashion, chase change, and so we want to modernize it. We always think we're improving it, but there's a reason that the game is coming back because it was very good in its day.
Yes, I mean, this one, I used to play it as a kid, and you punch in those little codes in the tower and see what happens.
It was amazing. It had a slideshow and wheels that went up and down and lights. The actual, the actual mechanical stuff is still really cool.
Did you take it apart to see what was in there?
No, those things are expensive. I know what's in there because I'm around people who worked at Milton Bradley back then, and I can tell you what's in there. It was like $80 in 1981, which I think would be $250 now, which that's not our price point.
There you go. It's going to be a better price point than $250. You heard it here first.
We're hoping.
You didn't quite hear it here first.
I don't think we'd sell as many as we'd like at that price point, but we're working on it. I had a meeting on it today. We started talking about some tower stuff. We got a prototype here that Isaac and I and the restoration team are going to sort of take an hour to just look over, make sure we're all, it's rare that we're in the same place.
Exactly. So you get to look at it, prototype it, and that's great. I'm so excited to see this when it's done because
me too.
It was one of my childhood favorite games.
I'm excited by some of the ideas that are starting to come together now, and I'm excited for it to be public, so we don't have to use code names and talk around it and worry about people hearing about it. Exactly.
I feel like I need to go grab my old set, find C batteries. Do they even make C batteries anymore to stick in there?
They do. It might be D batteries, 4D batteries.
Was it Ds? It's so long that I've actually used it. I'm like, I don't know.
When the battery's in that thing, you could bludgeon someone to death with it.
I know.
Don't do it again. It's very expensive.
It is. But, we're very excited. Return to Dark Tower. And you've been signing posters here.
We got postcards and posters. And Isaac has been signing some, I've been signing some, and if you're lucky, you get both our signatures on there because I'm running around a little bit more. He's at his booth, so he's easier to find.
No, this is great. We're so excited for this news, and we're looking forward to everything that you guys put out.
Thank you. This is 2020, so we'll have some things in the meantime they're just not ready to talk about yet. They're on a more typical discussion schedule, like when we're closer to launch.
Well, usually for you now, as we talked about at Dice Tower Con, you guys, if we don't see a restoration game in best reprints every year, there's something going wrong.
No pressure. No pressure
No
whatsoever.
pressure at all.
No,
but,
no pressure.
But after Downforce won it this year, we're like, Restoration Games better have a best reprint every single year from now on, because that's all you do.
Yeah, that's all we do, and I think we had a good first couple. We've only been out a year. So we've had a very good first year. We announced it 2 years ago, but we started selling games at Gen Con last year. So we've really been around not even 12 months because Gen Con was late. So we did a lot of things right. We've done a lot of things wrong, and we're getting better at them all the time in terms of predicting schedules and pricing things and conventions and retailers. So we have a lot of great people, and a lot of us are industry veterans. So we knew more coming in, and we basically hopefully can make our mistakes faster. But we're still making them. We still will make them.
Well, I love what you're doing. I'm looking forward to the next projects.
Yep.
And well, thank you for talking about everything Restoration Games. And we're looking forward to seeing Dark Tower and many other things in the near future. Once again, Rob Daviau, and for the Dice Tower, this has been Jason Levine with another Gen Con preview.
Thank you.